Hey everybody, joriz here. So YouTube's releasing a new feature called YouTube Hype, which it's essentially supposed to be a thing where it helps smaller creators, small people like myself finally get the initial boost, the initial startup to get that like final push into becoming a full-fledged creator who can sustainably create YouTube content. I think, I don't know. I mean, if that's not the intent, then I don't know what the point of this feature is. I'm pretty sure that's the intent. Anyways, the feature, essentially, you can read it yourself, but basically, if your channel has under 500,000 subscribers, your videos can get hyped by viewers, and viewers can hype up to 3 times per week, and the most hyped videos, or well, the top 100 hyped videos from the week, will then be featured on like a leaderboard, I guess. And also, they do note that you can like purchase additional hypes. They also mentioned that it shouldn't hurt like your recommendations or search results, so it should, in theory, it should be entirely helpful. They also give like more additional information, like, oh, you can earn points on a weekly leaderboard for your country, so it's not like a global leaderboard. You're not competing on a global scale. And then, for people like myself, we get the handicap bonus because they make it so we have like a multiplier, so we can actually get on the leaderboard in comparison to bigger channels. To be honest, I'm not really sure why like the limit is like 500,000 subscribers, because I feel like at that point you're already like an established creator. Also, in the video talking about this, they mentioned that you have to have 500 subscribers in order for people to actually hype up your videos, which, great news for me because I do not have 500 subscribers. That's hey, thanks, man. I don't even get the handicap bonus. Anyways, one final thing to know about this article, because the rest of it is just basically them like saying like, guys, this is gonna be the best feature ever, and also that this is how we made the feature, which I mean, it's not that relevant, but this is a pretty. This thing I find kind of interesting because they mentioned that they did beta tests for it and people were using it. 5 million times it was used across 50,000 unique channels. And then they mentioned the age group, which I don't really get the point of, but sure. Here's the thing, they don't actually mention anything about these channels benefiting from this. I don't know if they have like the data to show it. They don't say how these channels benefited. So I guess that's like an interesting thing, for me at least, to know. Whoa, hypixel skyblock jump scare here. That's okay. I got the wrong game. This hypixel captured a wool. All right, well, whatever. But basically, I wanted to talk about YouTube hype a little more, and actually talk about more in depth about shoutouts, because I think shoutouts. I'm about to talk about it, but I think shoutouts are actually not very good for creators oftentimes. And this is essentially just YouTube shouting out your videos, so I think it's a pretty relevant topic to bring up. Anyways, I think that, shoutouts in general, they're done with like a good intent. I don't think people aren't like going in and shouting out smaller creators as like an evil intent, but I do think they end up doing like, they end up doing more harm than good in occasion. The primary reason behind why I believe this is the case is because subscribers that come from shoutouts tend to only like follow or support a creator because someone else told them to, and eventually they just stop caring. They become like, they're like these dead subscribers where they ultimately they subscribe to your channel, but they don't actually watch your content, and then eventually they unsubscribe because originally they subscribed solely because someone else they were watching just said, hey, subscribe to this channel. Support my boy over here. They're out here struggling, grinding the good grind. I don't know. Is that how that works? I don't know. Anyways, I think dead subscribers are pretty bad for a channel because, to me at least, this has like the potential to give off the vibe to the viewer that like your channel might be dying if it's losing subscribers, or like if the subscriber count isn't proportionate to the amount of views you're getting. Which, to be clear, this is like my interpretation of it. It's not like I'm it's not like a set in stone thing. This is just what I've noticed from seeing people receive shoutouts, and it's actually something that I brought up because I remember seeing someone a long time ago who did receive a shout from a larger creator talk about how it actually ended up having a negative impact on their channel overall than it did have a positive one, since the concept I just explained here with having like dead subscribers ended up happening to them. Anyways, this is not to say that all shoutouts are bad, because some creators, they've only gotten their startup because of a shoutout. They became the person they are today because they got a shoutout from someone larger. It helped them. But I think with those scenarios, it's because the shoutout was like executed like properly, I guess, as a way to like word it. Did I just lose? I think if we wanted to go a little bit more in depth, I would do it in the comments because I feel like it's way too big to talk about it here. Anyways, here's the big thing I'm confused on. Everything I've been talking about is a larger creator shouting out a smaller one. But this one is YouTube. YouTube is shouting out a smaller creator. YouTube isn't creator itself. And so this is where I wonder, does this same principle kind of apply? where like if you make it onto the weekly hype leaderboard and like you get the shout out from YouTube and you get like all the buffs from it, does that buff like still go away? Or like does it like eventually not help anymore and it starts going into what I believe is a harmful thing? It could be harmful at least. And so that's like the question I'm posing, and that's the big overall idea of this video. And also this video is a re-upload. That got all right. Well, anyways, that's kind of about it for this video. I want to hear your thoughts on this. Unless you like have no thoughts on this, which fair enough. But like, if you do have thoughts, I want to hear them in the comments, please. I love nerding out about YouTube. Actually, it's to a point where it's kind of detrimental for my channel, because if I just keep nerding about YouTube, then people are just not gonna watch my other things. So I gotta stop.